Hey everyone, it's Lisa here. This is a Black Moon Lilith update for Sagittarius 26 degrees. And the Sabian symbol, which you can find in the Black Moon Lilith journal, is a flag bearer in a battle. So I'm just going to read you a little bit here. We just came out of the part or the portal or the 9 days with the mean Black Moon Lilith, which was 25 degrees Sagittarius, which was all about intuition and letting play and the environment inspire and guide that intuition into form. And with that experience, we tap into the intuition in a really natural way because we're just going with the flow. So this one is totally different. They always seem to be like an up and then a down, which makes sense, right? If we're considering the natural cycle of life, which is like manifestation, and then you come down through a period of looking at that manifestation, letting go and cleaning out what needs to be cleaned out before a period of surrender where we become our true selves. And then when we come back up to that manifesting time, it's like our energy is refreshed, it is renewed. So that is such an important point. These more, you can kind of think of them as serious, but not the kind of mental serious, analyzing serious. It's a bit of an interplay between being truthful with what you've got, having a look at how it impacts others, taking that into consideration, but at the same time letting it distill naturally. And then allowing the truth to rise in that surrendered state of what is cleared, because that should happen naturally in a surrendered state. The clearing will happen. Sometimes there's grief and sometimes there's a bit of shadow work to do around it. But also the more we can just let it go without worry that we're going to lose the whole thing. Only what's needed. It may be the whole thing, but it may also not be. It clears out the dross naturally. So I know that's a lot in there, and it's a process of, going through it that you become very attuned to it. Doesn't always feel comfortable, which is why we call it shadow work and why there's all these ideas around it. But in this part, in this Sagittarian 26, it is bringing this shift from this playful free flow, embracing the intuition, into the stance before something more real comes out of that. So you can think of like a flag bearer. Let's soften it a little bit and think about more, not so much war, because that's an extreme distortion. Yeah. We want to just talk about real everyday stuff. Yeah. So let's talk about driving your car in traffic when you're running late for something. It feels like a battle, and you can be at war with it, or you can be like a flag bearer. You know you're running late. You know next time you will try your best not to, but there's nothing you can do. Yeah? It may or may not work out on the other side to your advantage. You might not get the appointment. It might be the 100th time that you're running late for work, so that's going to be like a red mark, Obviously, there's more going on there, so you need to look at that. But whatever the case is, you're not there yet. All you are is a person driving, and your responsibility is to drive safely. Yeah? And taking on any of the stresses in a really distorted lens will lead to weaving through traffic, beeping everyone, road rage, all those scenarios. allowing yourself to just surrender into it. It just is what it is, and it won't have that anxiety and that stress with it, which is bad on the body system, right? So that's the portal we're in. That is the energy, okay? So it's really asking you, you've had this free flow, you've got intuitions. Before you make something from it, it's like a pause in the moment. But the moment still continues on. So it is really the asking of bravery to hold the flag of what you believe. You know, you're in traffic, you believe in safety. That's the greater good, right? For you, for others. And then waiting to see what the results come when they come. And it's actually as simple as that. So let's talk about the shadow insight. So just one of the shadows that could come, doesn't mean they're going to come, because obviously this is a subjective experience, and Black Moon Lilith is just bringing this energy and this experience, and she is the portal between the shadow and the gift. You know, she's holding the whole spectrum so that you can bring out your own wisdom. But for example, a shadow could be, or what comes when we deepen from usually the trigger level, which is really good to journal about. You can get to this more shadowy level, which is unknown level. Bring that into your awareness. Then it's going to be around, lo and behold, shared responsibility, which is hilarious because I was just being in my higher self, which is one of my practices at the moment, drawing that more into form. And that scenario is exactly what I'm reading here, but I just spoke that from there. I didn't actually pre-read this beforehand. So it's about shared responsibility, okay? So example, you're driving through traffic and you're triggered because you're running late. And there's many triggers, right? You know you've done the wrong thing. You're letting someone else down. You may miss your appointment. You're late for work for the umpteenth time. Whatever the scenario is, they're the triggers, right? And they can be multiple going on at the same time. But you know you're triggered because you're hyperventilating and starting to consider, let's hope you're not actually doing it, and that compulsion to get there as fast as possible has taken over. Let's hope you're making the wise decision to just drive and really be in a position to alleviate your own stress in that moment. Whatever the case is, it is a shared responsibility, because you know the greater truth is just to get to wherever you're going safely, following the road rules, you know, for the sake of you and others. But then for the sake of you, it's your responsibility to calm yourself ultimately. And I know that's easier said than done, because we don't have time in our modern society to process all these shadows. If we did, we wouldn't hyperventilate, and we also wouldn't be on the other side in the positions of jobs, turning people down if you're late. We wouldn't be so stressed if people were late for work. Even if it's for the umpteenth time, we would have better conscious considerations from that side too. So it's not just your responsibility. However, in a moment, it can bring up that shadows of your responsibility, because as you learn it, society learns it. Yeah, as society learns it, you learn it. We are all in this together. So that's one of the shadows. So I just also spoke about the gift. Okay, so you notice your triggers. You've learned how to deal with your emotions. If you haven't, go and seek whatever help you need to learn these processes of turning down the intensity of emotional wounding patterns that trigger all of these. And sometimes it's just that you don't have the capacity to work through them. Maybe you're too busy or overloaded. Maybe you've never spent time working through them, and they're over time of your life. There's so many. Maybe there's other reasons. So there's different professional levels for different help to receive, you know. But you either receive help or you learn how to do it yourself, or you do a mixture. Yeah, there's so many different ways. Anyway, the gift side of it is you're driving through traffic, you realize you're running late, you're just calm because you know, but you've also learnt something about yourself. Why was I running late? Was it just because? Is it a one-off, or is there something going on here? Now I have more information and I can work on that level. And that's a gift, to know thyself. Yeah? It's like one of the greatest gifts of all, to know thyself. We are not perfect, and we learn and change all the time in every day. Yeah? And sometimes we have to get reminded of these things if we've come out of balance of something. So that is a great gift. So, a reflective question to ask yourself. Well, what ideal or vision is asking you to stand for? I know that's kind of written weirdly, but it's so that you can kind of decipher your own meaning out of it. But in this case, for example, of this person driving in the car, it would be, do I just want to only care about myself, or do I care about the greater good? Yeah, that's just, again, an example. And I'm going to leave you with the same practice I'm going to leave you every time. Okay, so my journal that I create each and every year for Black Moon Lilith, so you can transverse throughout the 9-day portals for the year, is an energetic shadow working process. It is totally natural. It's basically meditation, but it asks you to take a trigger into the feeling, trace that feeling, how it feels in your body, and just be with it. And that integrates then by itself. Yeah, that is a practice that I do. It has enabled me over time to increase the speed of my shadow working, and it has brought many, many gifts. So I'm going to offer it to you each and every time, because really it's the thing that I know because I do. So, but whatever, if you have your way, I'd love to know in the comments below how you actually do your shadow work, because journaling is one way, and it can be a very good way to understand yourself, but we really want to bring it down to that karmic level. And in that karmic level, we can release it, integrate it, and free up new energies in that experience, which are really our old energies that may have been covered over by so much in our system. And then it seems like gifts, but they're actually our innate gifts. Yeah. So that's it. See you in the next one.